Congratulations on the first win of the season, 83-70 the final. Some of your takeaways from this win out in Omaha.
Well, LJ Figueroa is a heck of a player. I mean, he gave us so much energy tonight. He was the difference in the game. If we didn't have him, I'm not sure we'd have been successful again. His energy and play was, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals. He gave us tremendous energy. And defensively, he was the one guy that was trying to run people off the line. We had a real hard time adjusting. When somebody's shooting threes that well, you got to run them off the line. And, our guys, they thought a hand up was good. You got to run those guys off the line. They get it going like that. You got to make adjustments during the game. And we didn't make good adjustments there. I was very disappointed in our 3-point defense. They were shooting well, but so many times we could have run them off the line and we didn't. So I'm very, very disappointed in that we weren't able to make the adjustment.
How about points in the paint, though, Coach? A 38-18 advantage for your squad there. Took it to them around the rack a little bit.
Well, I thought, our energy around the basket, Dante, started it good, and then we got a couple blocks, and, they got it in there, and our guys were digging pretty good. I was pleased with that, but more pleased with 38-22 on the boards. If we beat people like that on the boards, you're going to win games. And I thought that was, more to our identity, that we want to have. This is an athletic group. We ought to be able to rebound the ball. And we did in the second half against Missouri, but we sure didn't in the first. And that's what really hurt us.
Eugene Omarui with another strong game too, Coach. 22 points. Got to like his performance again.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Eugene's all about the team. I mean, he's been so easy to coach, so easy to work with. And I just love working with him. He listens. He tries to do everything we ask him to do. When he doesn't do something and you bark at him a little bit, he knows it and he's ready to adjust. He's going to have a tremendous year if he keeps working like he works every day in practice, because his confidence and his teammates' confidence in him will continue to grow. And when you have that situation where your teammates have confidence and you have confidence because you worked your tail off, you put yourself in a position to be a consistent performer. And he was by far, this week, he was 2 really good games.
All right, Coach, thanks for spending a few minutes with us. We'll let you get to the rest of the media, and we'll catch up with you here soon as you guys travel back to Eugene safe. Safe travels, Coach, and thanks for the time.
All righty, thanks.
Dana Altman, head coach, Oregon men's basketball.
Congrats on the win, Coach.
We're
going to start with
chat with
Matt
us, and
Green
we'll talk a little bit more on the post-game show, go through some more of those numbers.
Dana, do you feel like this team just played significantly harder on defense, just overall as a unit, than Wednesday? And was that kind of a message after that game against Missouri?
Well, I thought we played hard trying to come back in the second half. Like I said, we out-rebounded Missouri in the second half the other night by 10, so I thought we played hard there. But, again, LJ, gave us a lot of that, Matt. I mean, having that extra person to rotate in, I just thought he did a tremendous job. So, I thought our guys played really hard the second half against Missouri. When I watched the game, late that night, I said, God, we played hard, but we just every time we make a run, we give them an easy basket, and, weren't connected defensively and had some really bad possessions offensively. So, when you dig yourself a hole like we did the first half, against a good experienced team that Missouri is, you're asking for trouble.
James Crupia, Oregonian.
And obviously good performances from Eugene and LJ, like you point out. How much beyond being competitors and wanting to win anytime they play, did this particular matchup mean something to a guy who played at Rutgers and a guy who played at St. John's and had losing records against Seton Hall, entering tonight?
No, I'm sure, LJ was telling the guys, these guys, they'll come after us. And, that helps prepare the team, and, we need some games where we can really develop some things. those games that we didn't have last week, really hurt us because there's so many things we need to work on and develop against somebody else. And so, we've got a lot of work ahead of us, but I think those two guys got everybody ready, and I think Eugene will do that. His focus in our, when we have film and when we have scouting report, it wears off. Dylan Brooks he's the best probably that I've ever had, just making everybody lock in on the scouting report because he was locked in. And Eugene's having that same effect on a lot of guys. He's locked in, and it just makes everybody, get more focused and locked in. So I'm hoping that they'll accept his leadership. Part of leadership is guys willing, to listen. And Eugene's earned that, through his work and what he's accomplished at Rutgers and here. He's earned that. And, I hope the guys will continue to listen to what he's got to say because he's all about the team.
Chris Hansen, register guard.
Yeah, Dana, you had a real balanced scoring effort tonight. It seems like everybody scored more than one basket and 17 assists. Did you like the offensive effort that you got from everybody tonight?
I thought it was better. Thought the ball movement at times was better. I thought we looked for guys a little bit better. Again, disappointed with some weak turnovers, and we've got to get our execution much sharper. But no, we shot 44% or 53% from the field and 42% from the 3-point line. So you'll always take that. A little disappointed in our free throw shooting, especially to start the game. I think we missed our first 4, but Eric hit some down the stretch and we were able to put them away. But I thought offensively we did play better. Part of that was Jalen and Amari hitting some shots. The other night they both were a little cold, 0 for 4 and 1 for 4. So we went 1 for 8 from the point guard position the other day, and tonight we go 7 for 12. So just their offensive output, was much better than it was the other night.
Jerry Thompson, Ducks Illustrated.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about how impressive Jalen Terry was tonight. Just not only his 3 3-pointers, but way under control for the most part. And is that kind of what should be expecting now all the time?
Well, Jerry, he's a good player. I mean, he was a very good player in Flint, and, top 75, top 100, whatever he was. He's a good player and got really good instincts, good quickness. Like I said, we wanted to get some quickness back at the guard spot, and he and Amari going to have a big challenge here the next 6 weeks. And running the show, not turning it over, getting the ball to the right people. And I thought Amari played really good. A little disappointed in his turnovers. Just an extra dribble led to a couple turnovers where I thought the ball should have got out of his hands. But he went 4 for 5 and really tried to make some plays. He had 3 assists. So I thought both of those guys made a big jump from the first game to this game.
Matt Preem.
You were pretty critical about Dante's first half against Missouri, and just seemed like his overall engagement in this game was significantly better. And I'm just curious, what can he bring to this team? If it really feels like he could be that big difference maker for you, whether he's scoring or blocking shots.
Absolutely. He's got to get in better shape, and he's got to play harder for whatever stretches we put him in there for. But don't ever question his talent. It's there. We got to get him in better shape, and we got to take care of his knees because he's still growing. The reason he's got problems with his knees, I believe, is he's 19-year-old and he's still growing, and he does have some pain in there. But we're going to have to manage that. But we're going to have to get him to play. My goal right now is 20 minutes hard, and then that can grow. But right now, I want him playing 20 minutes hard, and I thought he did a much better job. He's 3 for 4 tonight. 6 rebounds, some really good offensive rebounds for us, 2 block shots. I thought he did some good things.
Eric Olson, Associated Press.
Hey, Dana, welcome back to Omaha. Hey, I was going to ask you a little bit about how you guys shut down Sandro, and I'll never pronounce his last name right, but you know who I'm talking about. He only took 7 shots and really didn't do much until the very end. What was the plan on him, and could you comment on how you guys accomplished that?
Well, he came in getting 22 a game. And, our goal was to keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. When he was picking on the ball, we were switching and trying to deny it back to him. There's no doubt he's the guy that stirs the drink for them. 21.7, whatever he came in, and he shoots his efficiency numbers, got a really good feel for the game. I think when they win games this year, it's because he's going to be able to take them over. They run everything through him. So that's all we talked about the last 2 days is, we're not going to let him get as many looks as he's been getting. Whatever we got to do to keep the ball out of his hands. We forgot about some of the other guys, and I didn't like some of the adjustments we made during the game, but we did do a very good job on him. He's a really good player, really good feel. His instincts are good, can shoot the 3, can put the ball on the floor. He's going to be a good player for a long time.
James?
Dan, I just wanted to see what's next here because Nebraska lost the game on Sunday. They're obviously not a very, very big ride down the road. Colorado Wazoo just fell off the schedule because Wazoo's got problems, so Colorado's on the way back potentially. Are you dead set on coming back to Eugene, or is there a possibility of another game or 2 before returning?
We are going back tonight. We start finals on Monday. We got a couple guys got to get some things adjusted there, but we're going to try to play some games next week, James. But if we have to meet somebody somewhere, I don't know. I don't know if we can. We've got to get back, but to answer your question, we're going back tonight. We're going back tonight.
Chris
I
Hansen.
tell you what, going on the road is not any fun this year. I didn't even leave my hotel room. I ate whatever meals we had from plastic containers. Didn't have any vegetables, didn't have a salad. They bring you, pasta and, didn't eat very well the last 4 days. And I'm back here with my family. I'd like to see, some people, and drove down to Wilbur and seen my dad, and you just can't do that. I'm asking the team to sacrifice and not see anybody and stay with the group. And so I had a nice room and everything, but it sure was not any fun staying in it for 4 days. So, but we're going to go back. We're going to find somebody to play. We need to work on so many things, but finding games is hard. And because we have a long distance to go, and we just don't have a lot of Division I schools around us. We were trying to get some California schools, but a lot of them saying they can't fly. And we had a couple, teams with problems with the COVID and that. So it's a mess, but we'll just keep swinging away. We'll find somebody to play. And again, we got to get a couple games so we can get some things developed.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, Dana, can you pull the curtain back a little bit on the LJ decision that came down yesterday? Did you guys have a sense that it was going to happen? Was he surprised by the decision? I imagine he was thrilled with the decision.
Oh, he was really thrilled. We found out yesterday right when we were coming to film, and as disappointed as he was and pouting around, I told him, I said, you got to help your teammates out here. He had a big old smile yesterday, and just the look on his face, and you saw the energy he plays with. He just, there's nobody played 26 minutes any harder than LJ. So he was really excited. And to answer your question, we didn't know, if we were going to get the decision, when we were going to get the decision. Our compliance people were working hard. The lawyers were working hard to find out, what we needed to do to get this pushed through. Because as I mentioned the other night, St. John's, they had the coaching change. He went there to play for Chris Mullins. They had the coaching change. The AD and everybody asked him to stay, and he had thoughts of going, but he decided to stay. And then his parents got the COVID. I mean, we couldn't figure out why, it wasn't going through. But I'm very happy that it did. I'm very happy for LJ. I'm happy for the team. Obviously, you saw how good he is. But to see him, the last few weeks, every day, coach, we gain word, coach, we gain word, and to see the look on his face was tough. And then to see him so happy yesterday and see him energized was good.
Kate Rogerson, KZI.
Coach, I was curious if having this, I guess, kind of unusual regular season, having space between games on top of the students having, your student athletes having a regular schedule when it comes to schoolwork, does that give you an advantage or maybe a bit more time to prep and work on things where a normal season you couldn't do?
It hasn't much. The guys are doing everything online. And so, they still have classes all morning. And then we practice in the afternoon. We're still regulated because we're still in school by the 20-hour NCAA rule, which only allows us to practice and film and do all those things for 20 hours. So, the guys have probably been in a little bit more on their own because they don't have to physically go to class and, some of that. But as far as what we're able to do with them, we're still regulated by the 20-hour rule.
That's all we have for you, Coach. Appreciate the time. Congrats on the win and have a safe trip home.
All righty. Thank you.